Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Howell.
And I'm Miss Chabot.
We are pre-K teachers from Hollanders Island Elementary School, and we're here today to have a fun, moving morning and teach you a little bit of something that you might be going to see soon when the seasons change from spring to summer. But before we get to our fun stuff, let's start with our calendar. Miss Chabot is going to tell us what today is, what month we are in, and how we're going to move along with our morning.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May. Let's count and see what number day. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So today is Tuesday, May the 12th.
Very good. How about, Miss Chabot, we do our Days of the Week song?
Awesome.
All right,
Ready?
everybody stand up. We're going to do a little bit of our arm motions to go with our Days of the Week song. You ready, Miss Chabot? Here we go. If you can snap your fingers. If you can't snap, then you can just clap your hands. Ready? Days of the week. 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 There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. One more time. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week. Nice job, guys. How about Miss Chabot? Since we're already standing, we're going to do another movement activity. Miss Chabot told you that this is the month of May. We're already into 12 days of this month. Last month was April. This month is May. I wonder what month is going to be after May. So let's sing a song, and we're going to do a little bit of moving. We like to move in our classroom,
Yes,
don't we,
we
Miss
do.
Chabot? We like to move, we like to sing, we like to dance. So we're going to do another little activity to do our months of the year. You ready? If you watch Jack Hartman, you might have seen him doing it. Here we go. There are 12 months of the year, 12 months of the year. Feel the beat and move your body and give a cheer. Follow me and say the 12 months of the year. We're going to start marching. Here we go. Go. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Let's exercise. Let's do scissors. 12 months of the year, 12 months of the year. Move your beat and feel the rhythm and give a cheer. Follow me and say the 12 months of the year. Scissors, here we go. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Let's exercise. 12 months of the year, 12 months of the year. Feel the beat and move your body and give a cheer. Very good. So I think after May, what comes after May? What month?
June.
June. And guess what, boys and girls? In June, we'll move from spring to summer. I like to go to the beach.
I
You like-
love this summer.
It's kind of hot, so we have to be careful. Wear those sunscreen and remember, keep washing those hands. All right, boys and girls, we know that we haven't been in school for many, many days now, and I'm missing our students. How about you?
I miss my little loves.
We miss our students so much. We know that you miss your teacher. We know that you miss your other classmates. And so we're going to wish our friends and our family well. We have our Wish You Well board here, and these are our students that we've been missing in our classroom. Miss Chabot, let's put our hand on our heart. We close our eyes and picture our friends, and we wish you well. And we also have a song that we sing. We wish you well, we wish you well, all through the day today, we wish you well. And you know who else I want to wish well? We have some great parents out there. Those parents are working really hard to make sure our boys and girls aren't missing a thing. we also have some grandparents out there that are helping out too. So we want to wish those parents and those grandparents well. You've been working hard too, and you deserve a little pat on the back also. So we thank the parents and the grandparents for doing all that they can for us, and our school system for helping us out and giving us everything that we need so we can continue to teach our boys and girls. So guys, we said that next month is June, and in the month of June, it's summer, and Miss Chavit and I like to go to the beach. We like to go swimming. Be careful. Make sure someone's with you. We also like to find some sea animals on the beach. Sometimes you might be lucky enough to maybe find a sand dollar or something unusual on the beach. So we're going to read a story today. But before we read our story, let's talk about our book. Miss Chabot, what do we call this part of our book?
The front.
And what is this?
The back.
And this is the
Spine.
This is the important part. Just like your spine, it holds the book together so it doesn't fall apart. We always want to take good care of our books. Our librarian at our school, Miss Overstreet, she teaches our boys and girls how to take good care of books. So this book is called, the title is A House for a Hermit Crab, and it's written by Eric Carle. You may have read some other books by Eric Carle. He wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar. He wrote what was that ladybug called?
The grouchy ladybug.
A grouchy ladybug. That ladybug doesn't look too grouchy, though. In his story, the ladybug was kind of grouchy. So we're going to read this story about a hermit crab. You ever seen a hermit crab in real life?
I have.
I have, too. They're sneaky, kind of like a turtle. They like to get into their shell when they're scared. This isn't just their shell, but this is their home. So we're going to read our story, A House for a Hermit Crab, and we're going to find out what he does. Miss Chabot, do you think this story is real or make-believe?
I think it's make-believe.
What makes a story make-believe?
Animals talking.
Yes, maybe. Because if he's the character in our story, he's probably going to talk. So we're going to see if this story is real or make-believe. But boys and girls, sometimes in a real story or a make-believe story, you can still get real information about the things that happen in that story. So we'll see. There may be a little bit of both. So let Miss Howell get on her reading glasses, and we're going to read the story, A House for a Hermit Crab. All right. Here we go. Time to move, said Hermit Crab one day in January. I've grown too big for this little shell. He had felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and onto the ocean floor. But it was frightening in the ocean sea without a shell to hide in. What if a big fish comes along and attacks me, he thought. I must find a new house soon. Early in February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong. He moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside to see how it felt. It felt just right. But it looked so, plain, thought Hermit Crab. There's his new home. In March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the water. Oh, how beautiful you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to come and live on my house? It's so plain and it needs you. I'll come, whispered a small sea anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his shell. In April, Hermit Crab passed a flock of starfish moving slowly along the sea floor. Oh, how handsome you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to decorate my house? I would, signaled a little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his house. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. Oh, how pretty you are, said Hermit Crab. Would one of you be willing to help make my house more beautiful? I would, creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. Gingerly means carefully. In June, Hermit Crab came to a group of snails crawling over a rock in the ocean floor. They grazed as they went, picking up algae and bits of debris and leaving a neat path behind them. "Oh, how tidy and hard-working you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and help me clean my house?" "I would," offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They had sharp, prickly needles. "Ooh, how fierce you look," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to protect my house?" "I would," answered a spiky sea urchin. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it near his shell. He'd have to be careful with one of those. In August, Hermit and his friends wandered into a forest of seaweed. "Ooh, it's dark in here," thought Hermit Crab. "How dim it is," murmured the sea anemone. "How gloomy it is," whispered the starfish. "How murky it is," complained the coral. "I can't see," said the snail. "It's like nighttime in here," cried the sea urchin. In September, Hermit Crab spotted a school of lanternfish darting through the water. "Oh, how bright you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to light up our house?" "I would," replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. In October, Hermit Crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. "Ooh, how sturdy you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would you mind if I rearranged you?" "Not at all," answered the pebbles. Hermit Crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. "Now my house is perfect," cheered Hermit Crab. But in November, Hermit Crab felt his shell seem to get a bit too small. Little by little, over the year, Hermit Crab had grown. Soon he would have to find another bigger home, but he had come to love his friends, the sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. "They have been so good to me," thought Hermit Crab. "They are like my family. How can I ever leave them?" In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. "I have outgrown my shell," she said. "Would you know a place for me?" "Oh, I have outgrown my house too," answered the hermit crab. "I must move on." "You're welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good to my friends." "Oh, I promise," said the little crab. There's his little shell. It's got too big. The following January, Hermit Crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. "Couldn't stay in that little shell forever," said Hermit Crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he had remembered, but Hermit Crab wasn't afraid. Soon he spied the perfect house, a big empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain, but sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many possibilities. I can't wait to get started. So, boys and girls, through our story, it went through a whole year. Did you notice how it had the names of the months of the year through the story? And every month, he met a new friend because when he moved into his new shell, he had gotten too big for his little shell. He moved out, he found a new shell. But what did he say, Miss Chabot? The shell was what?
Plain.
Plain. Plain means there's nothing nice or fancy about it. It's just a shell. So he decided to decorate his shell. And he decorated his shell with people that he met. So we're going to see if we can remember the order of the people that he met. But the great thing is, we have our book, so we can always look back at our book. All right, Miss Chabot, let's see. Miss Chabot's going to show us on our chart the animals that he met. So, Miss Chabot, do you remember the first animal that the hermit crab met? Who was it?
The sea anemone.
Sea anemone. That's right, boys and girls. The sea anemone is he looks like a plant, but he's really an animal, isn't he, Miss Chabot? And after the sea anemone, who did he meet?
He met the starfish.
A starfish. They also called that a sea star in the story. That's also an animal. And after the starfish, they met
the coral.
Fantastic. He called them the crusty coral because they're kind of hard.
Whoop, and I'm not going straight.
And after the coral, who did he run into?
The cute little snail.
Some snails that crawled up on his shell. And after the snails, he met the sea urchin, the spiky sea urchin. He had to be very careful when he picked those up. And then he met
the lanternfish.
That was a really cool fish. He had a light in him.
I know. I thought that was super cool myself.
It helped him see in that murky seaweed. And then he met
the smooth pebbles.
And right there we know this story is make-believe because rocks can't talk. And the last friend that he met was
another hermit crab.
Another hermit crab. Boys and girls, this story was not just about the sea animals, but it was also about being kind to one another. Being kind, they shared their talents with the hermit crab, and they made friends with everyone. Now, it's almost time to go, but before we do, I want to show you something that you can do at home. It's almost summertime, and there's lots of things that we can do with paper plates around the house. Mom can go to the store, or Grandma can go to the store and buy you some plain old paper plates. You can take that paper plate and you can paint it, paint all over it. You can take a pattern. I would probably put this on the plate first and trace it. You can take it, paint it, let it dry. And then you can cut them out, and look what you'll have, boys and girls. You can make your very own seahorse, or you can cut it out to look like a shell, and you can make a beautiful seashell. And you can have ocean animals in your house at home. You could cut it off and put some strings and make a jellyfish. You could even make it into our friend the hermit crab. It would be a great thing for you to do. Have some fun this summer. Look it up and do some different things. But guess what? Our time is over. My gosh, that time went by so fast. We're so glad that you joined us today, boys and girls. And we're going to sing our goodbye song. You ready, Miss Chabot?
I'm ready, Miss Howell.
Now it's time to say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye, goodbye, everyone. Bye, boys and girls. Come back tomorrow. You're going to read some more great stories, and I think you might get to do some math activities. I think you'll have a great time. See you later,
everyone.
guys.
Have
Thanks
a great
for joining
day.
us.
Thank you for joining us.